Hello educators! In this video, we will focus on the concept of using mean, median, and mode. We know the alteration of these words are confusing, but don't worry, I hope this video will make it easier for you to teach your learners. The learning outcomes of this video is, at the end of this video, you'll be able to understand the meaning and purpose of measuring central tendency. You'll be able to use our guide to create appropriate questions in measuring central tendency. So what is the meaning of measuring central tendency? It is a single value that can represent the center of a set of data. The three types of measuring central tendency is mean, median, and mode. The purpose of measuring central tendency is to be able to choose the most appropriate and effective choice of measuring the dispersion of data. The second purpose is to help simplify the data into one representative value. It will be very easy and useful to compare the central tendency of one data set to another. The last purpose is to easily compare the representative value to the entire set of data. So let's begin with mean. Mean is a preferred measure of central tendency because it involves all the values of the set of the data. When you want to create a question finding mean, it is important to set the context in quantitative data rather than qualitative data. That is because if you give a qualitative data, such as color of an apple, it is impossible to calculate the average for such context. In your question, you should also include numbers which do not have a big gap between the maximum and minimum value. You should avoid using qualitative data and also outliers, because if you have an outlier in the question, it would totally change the central tendency if you calculate using mean. Here's an example. Let's use the height of a group of Year 1 students. These are the heights of the students. In this set of data, the gap between the values are all very close and there is no outliers. It will also be impossible to have an outlier such as 30 meters because your mean would also be an impossible measure of height. Next, let's look at median. When you want to create a question finding median, you can include an outlier or have a skewed distribution of data. The median of the question will not be affected much, since you will only be taking the middle value of the set of data. The data should also be quantitative rather than qualitative. What to avoid when using a median? Qualitative data should be avoided because it is difficult to measure. This is an example of a question of finding the median. These are the prices of donuts around the world. The distribution of data in this question is skewed to the left. There are also outliers in this question. However, it does not affect the median of this question. Lastly, let's look at mode. When you create a question for mode, remember to have repeated values. If you have an outlier, it won't have much effect on your central tendency as well, so you can include an outlier. The data you set should be qualitative data rather than quantitative data. Remember to avoid questions without repeated values or inconsistent values, or else it would be invalid for your learners to use mode to solve the problem. Here is an example question of finding the mode. The scores in this set of data has high scores and low scores. There are also repeated values of 9 in this question. Therefore, it satisfies the requirements for finding the mode. Thanks for watching our video. This video was created by Jacinta, Amanda, and Chrissy. I hope this will help you in creating questions of finding the most appropriate measure of central tendency. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment in the link below. Bye!
Created using Powtoon.